Demonstrating the bandsaw and bandsaw safety. This is the bandsaw that we have in the Hawker wood shop. Parts of the bandsaw are the top guard, bottom guard or doors, blade guard, top wheel, bottom wheel, bandsaw blade, table, fence, throat plate, and I don't know if we'll be able to see it, but the guide assembly, which consists of a thrust bearing and a pair of bronze guides which help keep the blade going straight. And down here under the table there's the same arrangement, the two bronze guides and the thrust bearing. Also there's the locking lever for the locking knob for the guard, locks it in place. There's the pitch adjustment for the top wheel, which pitches the wheel backwards and forwards, and there's the tension adjustment for the top wheel, which raises it up and drops it down. Now that tension adjustment is used when the blade is being changed. Unwind, wheel comes down, blade comes off, new blade goes on. It's not expected that the students do that. The teachers or the technical assistant normally does all of the maintenance on the bandsaw. Safety equipment required, safety glasses on all machines. Earmuffs are optional, it's up to your discretion. If you're cutting normal timber, it's not a very loud process, it's below the safe hearing level of 82 decibels, I think it is. Whereas if you're cutting something on the nature of acrylic, it's very loud material to cut, it echoes a lot, you probably want to wear earmuffs. As a rule, if you're not sure, wear earmuffs anyway, it's not going to hurt. Setting the height of the bandsaw. If you have it that much blade exposed, you are putting yourself at extreme risk of bumping into the blade. These machines are used in butcher shops to slice up carcasses of animals, and they'll easily slice fingers off. The correct height, now this is about a 20mm piece of wood, the correct height is thickness of timber, correct height for the guard that is, thickness of timber plus 1 finger underneath. That way when I let go of it, there's a gap under the pressure wheel, pressure bearing, and we're at a good space to cut. That's the typical sort of material we cut in the workshop. If you're going to use a larger material, again, lift it up under the pressure wheel, fingers underneath the timber, lock it in place, let go, and then you're ready to cut. Simple rule is if you're going more than 1 finger distance to the blade, you're too close, use push sticks. So if you're 1 finger away, that's okay. Less than 1 finger, that's a bit small. Holding the timber, typically you hold it on either corner. If need be, now that would put my fingers too close to the blade. If need be, you can use push sticks to control the piece of wood. In fact, all the time. If the blade snaps, the top wheel starts to spin free, the blade just falls apart, splits into two, falls off the back, whatever. The bottom wheel will spin and then run down fairly quickly because it's got the motor attached to it, so it's spinning a lot more metal, it's heavier, it slows down quicker. The top wheel often continues to spin for a long time after the blade snaps. If by chance the blade snaps and it comes out onto the table, all you need to do, at any stage if the blade snaps, all you need to do is hit the off button, the emergency stop, knee stop. All you need to do is hit the stop button, walk away from the machine, call technical assistant or teacher, and by no means grab the blade and pull it out, because if this wheel's still spinning and you've got the blade in your hand, it'll catch on the wheel, or can catch on the wheel, and then come back to life in your hand, and that would be a disaster. That would be fingers severely lacerated, if not amputated. Using the machine, dust extractor going. I'm not going to turn the dust extractor on for the demonstration because I don't want that much noise in the background. Stop button, start button, light to the machine to indicate, power to the machine to indicate that it's plugged in at the mains. On, off. You hear it winding down. On. Don't put your thumb across the cut line. Hold it from either side. More than one finger away. Cross cut. Scrap goes in the bin. I missed. I missed twice, I'll get that in a minute. So, cross cutting, or using the rip saw, the rip fence, sorry, to lock that in place, and then run the piece of timber along the saw using the push stick to hold it in place. Don't push at the back of the blade, that will push the scrap onto the blade. Just hold the push stick at the front. You don't need the white knuckle grip, you can just hold it in place. Run it through, thumbs coming up into danger, swap it over, run the push stick through. And that's given me 2 pieces of timber, reasonably straight cut, easy to do. When you're finished with the saw, remove all waste from the table, drop it down to the safe position again.